Go for it.
25-year-old married mom here. Hubs is high value, 6'4", 6 figs, loyal, protective, handsome. You ladies have high value men telling you what they want, but it doesn't matter. Why should what you want matter then, especially Bang?
Why should what you want matter then? Because it's me? What do you mean? What do you mean my opinion doesn't matter? What? That's so weird.
Well, she's saying they're high value, and
They're high value.
they're telling you,
Okay.
they're telling you what they want. So I guess in a easier question, what value do you bring to them?
I don't know. I think I do a lot of stuff. When I'm in love, I go over the top all the time.
But so does everybody. So what specifically do you bring to the table to satisfy a 1 to 5%er man?
Well, by the way, she rejects that we're high value, but
Right.
I don't know. What would I do? Honestly, if I had a high value man, like this man's bringing in the money, I'm sorry to say this, I'm gonna be his bitch. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest. I would be his bitch. Like, I would cook, clean, everything. Anything
What if
he wanted.
he wasn't bringing money?
Oh, well. I don't know, maybe if I'm still in love.
Well, not only that, but in order to get a high value man, you have to be a high value woman, which means you need to do things that other girls don't do. So, for example, do you go out to clubs or bars?
No.
You're on OnlyFans though?
Yeah.
Okay, that isn't something a high value woman does. Doesn't matter. OnlyFans is known for that. And you're associated with it. So if you associate yourself with the wrong crowd, people are going to take you and put you in that wrong crowd, even if you're really not. So you have to continue to be a high value woman, but you can't do that if you're subscribing or having men subscribe to what you're selling on the internet.
Facts.
I'm just trying to make my money.
There are other ways to make money.
Okay, so I don't know what to tell you. If you have a problem with me having an fans, I don't know. You want me to delete it or something?
You can do whatever you
She
want.
has
You can
a
do whatever you
problem
want.
Is if you're not, if
I'm just
you
letting you know.
Stay in a relationship with a high value man, you need to be able to bring more than just what the basic things that you should already be doing. You need to be adding value to the relationship. So it's not just about the very bare minimum of cooking and cleaning and being his whatever you said. Like it's not just that. It's a lot more. And it's not that she has a problem. We don't have a problem with you, but it's just a different way of looking at.
So what does
a healthy
high value
relationship
woman have to do? That's my question. Like what makes a high value woman? I think I asked that last time.
I feel like that's something the men should answer. I mean, I have an answer, but
do you think you're a high value woman?
I do.
Good.
So a high value woman would be, she cooks, she cleans, keeps a traditional mindset for the most part, doesn't go out. What I say not necessarily goes. It's like I can take what you say into consideration, but if you're gonna like argue with me, give me a hard time, like from what I'm seeing from what you say that you have to offer is you have the OnlyFans account, you demand him to have the same, whenever he asks you to delete your Instagram or something like that, he would have to do it as well. So there's a landscape that is difficult to traverse with you. And so like honestly, like if a man was gonna try and take you seriously, he would probably just smash and pass.
Okay.
I think you have to be a good follower to your partner. You have to be able to submit to him and
I
follow.
If I was really in love with a man,
but I don't think you need to be in love with him, because are you doing these things in the dating stage or in the getting to know stage? Because that's where you build that foundation of a healthy relationship. Because if you're already saying that you don't want to delete your Instagram or you're going to keep your OnlyFans, even if
I'm not saying I'm gonna keep my OnlyFans. If I got in a relationship or even I was like talking to somebody or something, and he told me to delete my OnlyFans out of respect, I would do that.
But how are you going to get into a high value relationship if you have an OnlyFans? Because it puts you in that same crowd that Liz was saying.
I'm gonna follow up on that point.
So
right
OnlyFans girls can't have can't find high value men.
Hold on just a sec.
Nanny, your value is Oslo. Walmart wouldn't even stock you.
Okay. Do you have a response to him? Maybe you are stocked in Walmart. Who knows? Like Target? Target's a more reputable establishment.
Target.
Target. Kmart.
Kmart.
You don't know Kmart?
No, I do, but
out of
Kmart is
business.
out of business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Brian.
Oh, Sears?
Yeah. Sears is also.
Yeah.
R.I.P. boys.
So
R.I.P.
I wanted to piggyback on what you had to say. So shout out Zentience. He's a brain surgeon, right? You said he's a brain surgeon?
brain surgeon, and believe it or not, rocket scientist also.
Rocket scientist.
Like
Oh.
he first got into rocket science, and then he's like, this shit's too easy.
Is
and
this
then
a real person?
Yeah.
I don't think this is a real
I
person.
have to get
feeling
up
that
for a
you're
sec, but
lying.
continue
Me
the
too.
conversation.
Of course. So W Zentience. So to be a brain surgeon, rocket scientist at that as well, he had to go through trials, tribulations, go to school, had to get what is it, the degree? I don't know the degree. A doctorate. So he had to go through a lot of effort to become that. And before he got a job as that doctor, in order to do that, you have to fill out the prerequisites. And you have to do that before you are actually a brain surgeon, before you get hired, before you shoot a rocket into space or play a part in it. So why should a man take you seriously if you don't take the prerequisites to become a high value woman before you're in a relationship, before you're even in one?
I just live my life, man. I don't care if I don't know how you want me to answer this. I think if
I want you to answer how
I
you
don't,
feel.
and I'm
like,
gonna
what you
answer,
wanna
and I'm answering you. I'm telling you, I just do whatever I want. If a man is gonna, I think I want to be with a man that's gonna respect me, and if I don't know, like hopefully not have a problem with OnlyFans. I know a lot of guys probably do, but I don't know. I think if I really like somebody, I'm trying to pursue them, trying to get in a relationship with them, then yeah, I would.
So if you're trying to get in a relationship with them, I understand that you don't care what most people think, and shout out, like most people shouldn't care what other people think if they
Yeah.
want to strive to their goals and stuff, and dreams, aspirations. But in order to get a relationship with someone that you want, typically high value, probably makes a lot of money, I would assume, can take care of you, or you would want to delete all your social medias, etc., and be loyal to him, wouldn't you want to actually like do what you need to do prior to meeting that person?
So I should delete my Instagram and my OnlyFans.
I'm not saying delete it
I'm
now.
I'm single
but
right now
if
and I'm having fun. I'm not looking for a relationship, so no,
How old
I
are
don't.
you?
I'm 21.
You're 21.
Yeah.
I understand. Do you
I'm
think
still really young,
you are, and you?
and I want
and the
to,
world
I
is
want
your
to,
oyster.
yeah, I want to experience
Yeah.
new things. Yeah,
yeah.
I think, and honestly, like,
That's what you want to
10
say.
out of 10, humble, super chatted $50.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Women used to keep other women in check with wisdom and sometimes shame. That is sorely lacking in the West these days. Older/wiser women don't do enough to keep younger, more naive, narcissistic women in check. Men have become soft and weak too.
Yo, thank you for the TTS, man. Really appreciate it. Well, I mean, there's a different order to the world now. We're in, I guess, a new world order, so to speak. So let's bring it back to high value really quick. So you were saying something about kind of the original was like, I think, just a regular soup chat.
Yeah.
Trying to find it here. Let me see if I can find it. Well, so and I'm not saying this to criticize you, but you know, based off of like your appearance on the last show, I think you're gonna give your guy a lot to wrestle with, like because you're a little bit combative, and I don't think a lot of men like that.
well, I think honestly, like when you're in a relationship, you shouldn't just want like a very submissive person that isn't going to like help you grow. A woman helps you grow. A woman will challenge you pretty much, and it's trying to make you better. But I feel like it's just very submissive. Like if you're in a relationship and you're just like the head, and you're like, oh, I gotta say in this, and the woman doesn't. I think that's very unfair. I think it's really important to like compromise and for both people to communicate and express the way they feel. But I don't think the man should just be like telling the girl what to do in the relationship. I don't think that's right.
Well, do you want a leader?
I think so, maybe.
Well, because I feel like you can't have the best of both worlds. Like, if you want a guy who's a leader, in other words, a guy who takes initiative, because a lot of women will say, I want a guy who has a plan, who knows what he's doing. You know, for example, for a first date, a lot of girls, and I'll see this on dating apps, they say, I don't want a guy who asks me what I want to do. They were like, meet here, this time, this place, be ready then, like all that stuff, right? So you don't want that?
Personally, no.
Yeah, same.
Well, I mean, I feel like most college relationships are typically like, come over. There's not like,
No substance.
there's not, I mean, I could be wrong, but everyone's different. But the big thing is that men want peace. And you disagree with that?
No, I don't.
Oh,
I don't.
it's fine if you do. Just you
Yeah.
laughed, so
No. Yeah.
It's okay if you disagree.
Well,
I'm not going
because
to
who
be
doesn't
upset.
want peace in the relationship?
Yeah,
you want to
everybody
be
wants
safe
peace.
and you want to feel loved by that person, and like, if you're like always fighting, then like, why be with that person?
But I mean, is that a common trope? Typically, men don't nag women, for example. You don't often hear men nagging
Oh,
women.
my ex, he would always nag all the
Don't slam
time.
on the table.
Sorry, but
And
yes, men do nag.
I want to give, and I feel like my previous comment, I do want to kind of give you some credit. When I say you're combative, I mean, obviously you've been invited on a podcast to debate these issues. So, obviously the way that you or anyone else on the panel conducts themselves in this specific environment is going to be to some degree different than how they conduct
Alvin
themselves
Sam
with a
super
partner.
chatted 49
Thank you, Alvin, man. Thank you.
99
Shoot me a DM.
cents. Nanny, you can't expect to be with a high value man without him enforcing his standards. He will put you to work if you want him to provide. HVMs do not have tolerance for your incompetence. You struggle to answer very basic, fundamental questions.
So yeah, I mean, by the way, Alvin, thank you, man. Shoot me a DM on Instagram, whatever. So obviously, the way that someone is going to engage when intentionally invited on a debate format like this is going to be different than how one conducts themselves with a romantic partner, for example. Like the way I'm discussing these topics with you is not particularly how I would, for example, conduct myself when I'm with a partner, for example, or with a girl I'm dating. Frankly, these sort of topics are the last things that I want to talk about with a romantic partner. But but I do sort of get the impression that, and perhaps it's in some ways it's good. I think being disagreeable, for example, if you want to be successful in business, that's a trait that you need to gather. However, I think when it comes to relationships, it's not something that men want or look for. Because the biggest thing that you can bring a guy, the biggest thing, don't forget looks, is if you can bring him peace. That is the biggest thing. Because, like, for example, a guy who's really, let's say he's very successful. He's going out into the world and it's a struggle. Business is hard. And if he makes a lot of money, and maybe some of you girls here don't really care about that, maybe at some point you will, especially if you want children, finances are going to become a much bigger factor for you as you get a bit older. But we're already combating with the world, going out there fighting in the business world, in the corporate world. The last thing we want to do is like have to come and contend with our partner. We want our partner to be our peace. So some people may disagree on that. Some people may agree, but I think that's the biggest thing that a girl can bring to a relationship is peace.